A child said, "What is the grass?" Hello, how are you? I hope you're well. I just wanted to pop in and introduce this weekly reading vlog and be completely transparent. I don't know how much reading is going to be happening this week, but I'm planning on vlogging anyway. My best friend from college is coming down to visit me all the way from DC. She's been visiting some of our friends in North Carolina this weekend, and then that's where we go to school, in North Carolina. And then she is driving from North Carolina here today. I haven't seen her since before spring break. I haven't seen her since midterm week. That's very exciting. We are going to be watching the second season of The Politician, which is a show that we both love. She's getting here between 5 and 5:30, I think. I'm hoping in there I'm gonna have some time to read. So I don't really have any new updates from the end of the last vlog. I just want to orient us into where I am reading wise. So I am currently working my way slowly through Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. I am still in the first poem, but I'm really taking my time trying to absorb everything that is here within these pages. This is really the first collection of poetry or book of poetry that I'm reading of my own accord. I believe I read Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur 3 years ago, but this is the first poetry book that I am reading of my own accord that is not mandated by a professor or a teacher. If you have any poetry recommendations, please let me know of your favorite poets or movements, eras, styles, whatever you think you might want to recommend me. If you have any thoughts, please let me know. And then in terms of novels, I am reading The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I am only about 20 pages into this. Like I said in my last vlog, I love Donna Tartt's writing, and so I am also wanting to get into literary fiction, more adult fiction. I'm hoping that this 900-page monster is going to be an enjoyable read. It is so far in the first 20 pages, and maybe let me know what I like and don't like in or about literary fiction. So anyway, that's all I have for now. I'm going to go edit last week's vlog and get it ready to schedule. So I will see you again soon. Gonna be a taste test for my very first smoothie bowl I've ever made. It's good. I like the walnuts, so I'm glad I put them in it. It is Friday, about 11 a.m. I'm planning on posting my June wrap up in July, sort of on my radar, not necessarily a TBR, but an on my radar combo video tomorrow, but I don't know if I can make it today. I've just been having a bit of a hard day so far. My nose is red. If you can tell, I have been crying. My best friend came to visit me from Virginia, which was incredible. I can't express to you how much I needed to have some time with a friend. This week, Danielle, that's my friend, she and I spent some time sitting and reading together. On Tuesday, which was the first full day that she was here, we went out to a local independent bookstore and looked around, and I found 3 books. This is one of my reading updates. So one of the books that I purchased was The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I'm so sorry if that's incorrect. A young man growing up in Barcelona, and it starts in 1945, just post-war. And Daniel, who's the main character, is the son of a bookshop owner, and his dad takes him to this place one day called the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, where books who have been forgotten by the world go to be buried. The rule of the Cemetery of Forgotten Books is the first time you pick out, the first time you go to the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, you are allowed to choose a book that you will bring back to life through what seems like a sort of supernatural choice, because he just feels drawn to it. Sorry, not Carlos, that's the author. Daniel picks out a book called The Shadow of the Wind. He becomes obsessed with this book, and he wants to find all of Carax's other works. And so he tries and tries and tries and finds out that they, over the last few decades, have been systematically destroyed. And there's a lot of mystery around Carax's life and death, and nobody really knows what happened to him. I am 173 pages in. So far all of that has taken place. We've learned all those things, and he's starting to piece together the mystery of the author Carax. So The Shadow of the Wind is my current read that I just purchased from the independent bookstore. I also finished the first poem in this original 1855 edition of Leaves of Grass. I'm really excited to get into more of his verse style and see what I will discover. Sorry if the angle is changing. I keep having to move things around. I knew when I saw The Shadow of the Wind that I wanted to get it. I picked up and put down a couple other books, but then I was looking through the mystery section to see if they had any of the Agatha Christie books in the same editions that I have. These covers of Agatha Christie, these are the ones that I'm collecting. So I was looking through the mystery thriller section to see if they had any of those editions or anything that I was interested in reading. And I found this book, which I have never heard of. It's called Jade Dragon Mountain, and it's by Elsa Hart, who is a woman who was born in Rome, Italy, raised in Russia, and has since lived in Czech Republic, the US, and in China. And she wrote Jade Dragon Mountain from Lijiang, the city that has grown up around the old town of Dian. And this is a debut novel. This is a murder mystery that takes place on the border between China and Tibet in 1708. An imperial librarian named Li Du is the investigator, the amateur investigator in this novel. And this imperial librarian has been exiled, so he's dealing with solving the murder of a Jesuit missionary at the same time as he's trying to not get caught because he's supposed to be exiting China. So this was a beautiful cover, and it just sounded so interesting. I'm a big Agatha Christie fan, I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan, and so most of the mysteries that I read take place in Great Britain, and so wanting in general to expand the geography of my reading, I thought that this would be a great option for mysteries, because it's one of my favorite genres and it sounds so great. And then both of those books were secondhand at the independent bookstore, but they also carry brand new copies of things. And so at the front, I found a book that I have been interested in for quite some time, and in my favorite cover, no less, and that is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I am also, once I finish this book, interested in looking into Sylvia Plath's poetry, because I think she has a lot more poetry books than she does novels, but I'm very excited to see what lies within this classic of female literature. So right now, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt is on hold. I'm reading The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. Sitting here and recording this with y'all, talking to you, has made me feel a lot better. So I'm going to go eat my smoothie bowl and I think read some of The Shadow of the Wind. I'm really intrigued and I want to know what's going to happen next to Daniel and all of the people in his community. Thank you for watching this clip. There's the ice machine. I'm going to go read and eat my first meal of the day at 11 a.m. Don't be like me, kids. Do what I say, not what I do. Hello, welcome to today. It is Saturday, July 4th. We are not really doing any big celebrating today. I think we may go to our neighborhood pool later on, but that's pretty socially distanced and there's usually not very many people there, if any at all. We're not going to be doing any big celebrating today, A, because it's not safe no matter what, but B, in our family of 3, we have a fresh surgery and 2 autoimmune disorders. So that is definitely good reason not to do anything, much less the fact that it's dangerous. I'm gonna go edit the video that is supposed to go up today on Saturday and post it. Hopefully it won't take me too long. I don't really have any reading updates. I just wanted to let you know what's going on today and that I'm hoping to get a good chunk of reading done today. All right, so it's almost 4 o'clock. I've been working on this video all day long. I finally finished the video. Everything's ready. The only work that has left to be done is to be done by the computer. So I'm finally gonna sit down and read today. And I am so excited to relax my brain and maybe learn something new that happened in Barcelona in The Shadow of the Wind. Hello, it is Saturday night and there are fireworks happening, and so I am trying to keep my little tiny dog calm. She's shaking like a leaf. I just wanted to give you a bit of a reading update. I am past the 300-page mark in The Shadow of the Wind, and it's just getting better. There are so many characters and character biographies given in this book, and there are little tiny threads in each of the lives of these characters that tie them to the main plot, which is the disappearance and obscurity of Julian Carax. There is a narrative tactic that's used in this book that I really like. The main character, Daniel, is going around and asking different people about what they know about mainly Julian Carax, but also other people and events. And so instead of having a full dialogue recounting of that information, what the author does instead is, in italics, the author will simply narrate the entirety of the story with all of the information that you need to know, even information that that person Daniel was interviewing may not have known. And so you really get the full picture through that of the lives of these people. That was a big yawn. You are shivering, Darcy. It is okay. She wants to go hide in the laundry room, but I was able to calm her down a little bit ago, and so I think if she just sticks with me that she'll be fine. So one thing I'm having trouble reading about in this book is the frequency with which wives are abused, wives and mothers, mainly the mothers of the characters who are now adults. The frequency with which those women are abused wives and daughters as well by their fathers. It's really hard to read about, and it's present in almost every family, I think, that is present in this book. I don't know if that's something that the author researched and knows that every woman was battered during this time, or if that's just something that he imagines. If it's the latter, that's not great. It serves as a very useful character device for not only those women, but also their sons and brothers and husbands. But if that is the only reason why women are so abused in this book, and it seems to be, I don't love that. Now, I will say that the women in this book are complex, even if every single one of them ends up abused by a man in some capacity. They're all complex. Some fight back, some choose not to, and there are complex reasons behind every choice, and those are all documented. So I do appreciate that a lot. I just wish that the author would use battered wives and daughters as a character device less in this novel. I also want to say that the book just took a dramatic turn with one single line that has yet to be addressed. The narrative has continued on as normal, but at the end of a chapter, there was one single line in all caps that changed the way the reader reads the book, but the narrative isn't told any differently. And so I'm not exactly sure what kind of irony that is. It might be dramatic irony, that's what my gut tells me, but I very well may be wrong. After that one line, the narrative continued on as normal. The mystery still has yet to be solved. The problem of the two major villains in the novel has yet to be resolved, even though it seems like there are so many crappy people in this book. Maybe everyone's a villain. But I really like the way that Zafon is putting his characters together. They are all flawed, and they all have positive qualities as well. Some of them are very likable and some of them are not. He is very good at giving all of his characters flaws and positive qualities, but manipulating you into liking who you're supposed to like. It sounds bad to say the author is manipulating the reader, but at some level this book has to operate from the belief that there are good people and there are bad people, and so you should like the good people and dislike the bad people for the plot to work, even though every character is complex and has flaws and has things that may make you not like them as much. There's still people that you're rooting for, and there are still people that make your blood run cold a little bit when they appear on the page. So I am really liking this book a lot. I think it's really good. Are you okay? Your heart is beating really hard. I am so sorry. I don't think that I have any idea how to pronounce this name, but my favorite character so far, like I said, there are so many characters in this book, but my favorite character so far, obviously Daniel and his father, are very likable, and Ferman is kind of like a Falstaff type of character, which when I read Henry IV, I never really liked Falstaff, but I like Ferman a lot better. Anyway, my favorite character so far has been Jacinta Coronado. I'm so sorry if that's terribly wrong, but I really enjoyed her story and her addition to the novel. She is a very motherly character and looks after one of the main intriguing unknown people in the book, as well as is a facilitator of a young romance that is very central to the mystery of the novel. I really liked her story, and I liked hearing from her perspective and what she had to say about the characters that we are more heavily focused on. I thought that she was a very admirable character, which is not common in the pages of this book, and so I think that she stood out to me for that reason. So I have recently started watching Gilmore Girls. I've now watched 3 episodes of Gilmore Girls, and I've never seen it before. So I have only 130 pages left, and I think my plan tomorrow is to try to finish this book and also start to edit this vlog. So what I'm gonna do tonight, I think, is go watch a couple episodes of Gilmore Girls, and then I may read a couple more chapters before bed. And I'm gonna look after this dog because She's panting like she's happy, but she's also trembling. You're confusing. Hello, it is Sunday afternoon. I know my hair might look kind of weird, but my bangs are just really annoying in my face, so I had to get them out of the way. But I just wanted to give a tiny reading update before I sat down to read for the day. It's almost 2 o'clock, and I think I may just try to read for the rest of the day and try to finish Shadow of the Wind. I did read one more chapter before bed last night, so now I'm on page 350, and so I'm hoping that 130 pages can be accomplished easy enough today. This morning when I woke up, I made breakfast and coffee and went to sit outside. It's very, very hot here today, but before it got too hot, I went and sat outside and read some more of Leaves of Grass. I read some of I Celebrate Myself, which is like a 42-page poem in this edition. And so I didn't read the whole thing. Actually, if you can hear that noise in the background, sorry, that's my essential oil diffuser. I wanted my room to smell like lemons. I found this quote that I really, really love. I almost have been brought to tears 2 different times when I was reading this morning. I want to read you a section that I read this morning and absolutely fell in love with. I love the way that Walt Whitman writes and uses ellipses to disconnect and connect thoughts at the same time. This is in the poem I Celebrate Myself. A child said, "What is the grass?" fetching it to me with full hands. How could I answer the child? I do not know what it is any more than he. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Or I guess it is the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift and remembrancer designedly dropped, bearing the owner's name some way in the corners that we may see and remark and say, whose? Or I guess the grass is itself a child, the produced babe of the vegetation. Or I guess it is a uniform hieroglyphic, and it means sprouting alike in broad zones and narrow zones, growing among black folks as among white. Canuck, Tuckahoe, Congressman, Cuff, I give them the same, I receive them the same. And now it seems to me the beautiful uncut hair of graves. The transcendentalist philosophy that is run through this, the main theme that I see is the theme of the oversoul, which is the belief in one human soul that connects us all together. And I see that a lot in I Celebrate Myself, as well as in the passage that I just read, talking about grass as a uniform hieroglyphic. I think Grass is also a character in this poem at the very least. He can create philosophy out of grass, and not create it out of grass, but help us see the beauty and the depth of the meaning of grass as it covers the earth. It's so common to us, but someone like Walt Whitman can help you recognize the uncommonness of something like grass. So anyway, I'm going to sit down and read The Shadow of the Wind for a while. I'm not sure what the rest of my day is gonna look like, but I'm gonna do my best to finish this book. I will see you soon again. Welcome to Sunday night. I did not finish The Shadow of the Wind this afternoon like I planned, but I may finish it tonight before I sleep. I just wanted to give a quick update because, as you may have seen if I decided to include them, I went for my first time to play disc golf with my boyfriend, and we ended up getting stuck in the rain, and so we just played the last couple of holes out in the rain, and then frolicked around, which is one of my favorite things to do. So that was really fun, but now I am just trying to get warm again. But I want to give a quick update on The Shadow of the Wind. In about the last 100 pages, this book switched perspectives for the first time so far. It switched from the main character Daniel, to another very important character who I won't name because if you read this book, when you first meet that character, you won't know that they're important. But they are filling in the final details so that you can put the mystery together and figure out what happened to Julian Carax and why his books are being destroyed and who is the person who's destroying them. Earlier in the book, Daniel, the main character, indicated that he thought the person destroying the books could very well be a certain character. It has been since revealed that for certain reasons, that character cannot be the person who is destroying the books. And my inkling may be correct of who it actually is, which is the ultimate plot twist, to be quite honest. I am looking forward to that final reveal so that I can know A, if I'm correct or not, and B, revel in the genius of what Safon created within this plot. Even though I do love the goosebumps and utter shock that I feel when Hercule Poirot names the murderer and I had no idea who it was, I do enjoy also figuring out the mystery beforehand. So I really like this book. I have had some issues with it, like I mentioned earlier today, mainly just that pretty much every female character, whether she be wife, daughter, sister, housekeeper, lover, has been physically abused in some way by a man in her life. It's not that those women sit down and take it and believe that they deserve it because they're less than. That is not the case. But I do think it's just kind of a cheap plot point that the author can easily use to create angst and create darkness in the hearts of various characters. I do wish he had gone for a more creative approach in creating angst and darkness in most of these instances. Obviously, it's a terrible, heart-wrenching reality for a lot of people. I just think that the commonplaceness of it in this book has sort of turned me the wrong way, but has not entirely turned me off of the book. For me, it has at least partially redeemed that aspect of the book through the grit and determination and biting back of those abused female characters. Like I also said before, everyone in this book is complex, and so through those complexities, it sort of redeems that aspect of the book for me, but the frequency with which female abuse is used still turns my stomach. Nonetheless, however, I still really appreciate the complexities of the characters in this book, and I am looking forward to seeing the final review of the mystery. So if you're seeing this outro right now, that means that I did not finish Shadow of the Wind tonight, and I will be moving it into the next reading vlog. So I will see you next week with my full review of Shadow of the Wind and my final thoughts. Thank you for sticking with me through this vlog this week. It has been a strange and wonderful and difficult week all at the same time, but I really appreciate you coming to hang out with me and watching this vlog. I'm so happy that my friend got to come visit me, and I'm so happy that I've been getting to spend time with my parents because of the quarantine. I am very happy that I learned how to play disc golf because it's very fun. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you are having a good day. If you're not, I hope that it will be better soon, and I hope you love what you're reading. Bye.